members of the state delegation, city council, school committee members, citizens and all. Today, as we confront a unique convergence of challenges, I stand before you to say without equivocation that the state of our city is strong. As your mayor, I say there can be no doubt this city has a thriving soul, and its strength is truly in you, its people. It is this great strength and community that buoys us in difficult times and will guide us to a future of opportunity, progress, and a city that will lead this Commonwealth in job creation, education, safe and clean neighborhoods in the years to come. Councilors, our strength of community is around this well. In a city council that just 2 weeks ago stood together to approve an historic Quincy Center development. It will mean nearly 10,000 new jobs, $1 billion in private investment, millions of dollars in new tax revenue that will help us keep police on the streets and put teachers in our classrooms, in a downtown that will once again make all of us proud. The review of this important legislation conducted by this body exemplified the very best of government. It was thorough, it was transparent, and I'm truly grateful for your work in this project and for everything you do for our city. Council President Kochs, Councilor Keenan, Councilor McNamee, Councilor Palmucci, Councilor McFarland, Councilor Raimondi, Councilor Finn, Councilor Forrest, Councilor Beshro. On behalf of the grateful city, we say thank you. We did not reach this point for our downtown overnight. We cannot forget the vision and work of former mayors, councilors, our friends in labor, and especially those members of the business community who worked to see this day for more than 3 decades. I dare say that there is not a city in the Commonwealth that is on the verge of such a progressive economic transformation. And it is only through the work of those long dedicated to this community that we have reached this point. Our work, while substantial today, is only just beginning. In the next year, we begin the process of designing and permitting the project, securing commercial leases with our developer Streetworks, and working to win federal and state grant monies and approvals for required portions of public infrastructure. This is the work that must come before us before we see rising steel or new construction, but is no less vital to the future of the project. Our promise to keep the residents and businesses of the city involved in every step of the process will remain, and we will continue to seek the counsel of this body as the work moves forward. Our strength of community is in our willingness to chart our own course toward prosperity. We have not and will not wait for economic opportunity to come to us. We will create our own. Today, even as the state and national economies continue to struggle toward recovery, we are seeing a resurgence of investment in the city. Boston Scientific's $60 million expansion, Bluefin Robotics and New England Aquarium anchoring redevelopment at the shipyard, the upcoming opening of the new Lowe's store that will include solar panels on its roof, the nearly fully occupied green office building at 100 Hancock Street, the continued expansion of Granite Telecommunications. The signs could not be more clear. This city is poised for economic resurgence, the likes of which we have not seen in decades. Our strength of community is in our children and the commitment of our school committee. We often have different opinions, but we share the same collective goal of maintaining one of the best school systems in the Commonwealth. Working toward our shared goals, we opened the new Quincy High School on time and on budget. We are today moving forward with a new Central Middle School as part of a state model school program. This will save our taxpayers millions of dollars on design and construction costs, and will allow us to build a better school on a faster timetable. While we move forward with major projects, we will not ignore the needs of our other school buildings throughout the city. In the coming weeks, I will be presenting to this body a capital investment plan that will include millions of dollars in renovation and repairs to our school buildings. These are not extravagant renovations, but necessary repairs to keep our buildings safe and the learning environment for our children functioning and appropriate. As the largest department in our city, we, without question, face financial challenges within our school system. But our commitment to core classroom services will not change, regardless of the economic climate. And while our taxpayers rightfully spend more money on our school system than any other service, we also recognize, especially in these difficult times, that the quality of the education our children receive is not and cannot simply be about the money. It's about policies. It's about curriculum. It's about the quality of our teachers that are continually attracted to our system. It's about principals, administrators, and staff who always have the best interests of our children at heart. Our strength of community is in our neighborhoods and their resiliency. Few can remember a 12-month period in our city when Mother Nature took such a heavy toll on our neighborhoods. From the devastating March floods to last week's blizzards, which caused the most severe coastal damage since the no-name storm of 1991. Quite frankly, this summer I was waiting for the locusts to arrive. I'm tremendously grateful for the work of our first responders and emergency crews who responded to these storms. Our firefighters, our police officers, laborers from our Department of Public Works, and our Parks Department. It is also a great symbol of our community's resiliency to hear the simple, small stories of neighbor helping neighbor amid these disasters. This, my friends, is that soul of our community. The recognition that we are all in this together, that we have a responsibility to each other. It is times of great trouble that this fact is made abundantly clear. It is not enough for us to say it's Mother Nature, there's nothing we can do. That is why, as part of our capital outlay plan, we will propose the first phase of a major flood prevention project in West Quincy and a number of flood control projects throughout our city. And we will develop a plan to repair crumbling seawalls along our coastline. For too long, residents in these neighborhoods have been told that something would be done, only to see plans fall by the wayside and no one held accountable. I will say this: if nothing happens, if no progress is made, you can hold me accountable. We have a responsibility to protect our residents, and I intend to live up to it. Our responsibility to our neighborhoods does not end with correcting these long-standing problems. It also requires us to acknowledge and address the age of much of our infrastructure across the city. This year, we will continue a systematic approach with our water and sewer replacement of those lines, rebuilding the roads, and the program for the sewer repair will save us money as ratepayers, but also save the environment. We will see progress on major traffic improvements in neighborhoods around the city. The state-funded reconstruction of Hancock and East Swanham Street intersection will move to further design phase. The intersection of Pleasant, Water, and Liberty Streets will be rebuilt this year. And we are working with my good friend, Braintree Mayor Joe Sullivan, on a permanent solution for the intersection of East and West Howard Streets in Quincy Avenue. In all of these projects, we will keep our pledge to identify exactly how they will be financed, ensuring that there will be no spending without a revenue source specifically connected to it. Our strength of community is in our police officers, firefighters, teachers, laborers, and office workers who have all made sacrifices in the last 2 years in order for our community to maintain core public services our residents expect and deserve. In these historically challenging times, we have made difficult spending cuts, and we are doing more with less. But those choices would have been far more difficult had our employees not willingly come to the table to negotiate wage freezes and dramatic changes in the health plan. These efforts have saved the city billions of dollars in just 2 years. We are one of the only communities in Massachusetts to refuse to raise property taxes for 2 consecutive years. We do so for the families who are still struggling, our neighbors who are jobless, our workers who have seen wages cut or hours reduced. The reality of our current economy continues to be stark for many, and it required this extraordinary effort to hold the line on property taxes. While we are navigating the storm far better than most, we are still far from smooth seas. The coming fiscal year will require more difficult choices as the prospect of further state aid cuts and lagging revenues continue to loom. As we move forward with this process, our commitment remains unchanged. We will be fully transparent, showing our residents exactly where every dollar of their money is spent, and we will have another series of community meetings to discuss the city's financial position. And we will make it clear, just as we have done in the last 3 years, that when the budget is presented, the property taxes that are set in the fall will also be announced. My friends, I told you when I first took office as your mayor that I was humbled and grateful for the privilege to serve you. I remain so today, And in these 3 short years, I have learned that with the support of our community, there is no challenge too great, no undertaking too daunting, that together we cannot overcome. I am prepared for the hard work ahead and gratified to know that as we take on the challenges before us, we do so as a community, and a community with an incredibly strong soul. May our work be a tribute to the blessings Almighty God has granted this great city. May God bless you and the city of Quincy. Thank you.